Take a looky there.
Let's bite into the top 10 best fast food pies Americans love the most. Because according to Christian Slater's character in True Romance, nothing beats Kung Fu and pie. Whether true or not, there are plenty of fast food pies to sample.
I need more pie.
Popeye's Georgia Pecan Pie.
Bring on that pecan pie.
Pecan pie is one of those classic desserts you can never seem to get enough of. Sure, it's more on the sweet side than, let's say, apple pie, but with such a rich flavor and satisfying texture, you can't help but fall in love with it.
Beautiful.
Popeye's Georgia Pecan Pie is the perfect example of how tasty this pie can be. It's everything you want a pecan pie to be: sweet, sticky, and delicious. As many online reviews will tell you, Popeye's pecan pie has all of the nuttiness, gooiness, and buttery filling that a pie from your local bakery would have, only for a much more reasonable price. As we mentioned before, pecan pie is one of the sweetest pies made, and may even be too sweet for some people, but if a little sugar doesn't scare you, this one is definitely worth a try. It's a solid pecan pie that no other chain has, and one bite is enough to see just how addictive this dessert can get. If you miss your grandmother's baking and you're looking for new comfort food, look no further than Popeye's. Even if this fast food restaurant is more known for its chicken and biscuits, don't miss out. It makes mean pie as well. Burger King's Dutch Apple Pie.
Give me a pie. Apple.
Apple pie is a traditional American dessert that has been around for what feels like forever. But apple pie comes in many variations, like Dutch apple pie, a pie covered with a sweet crumb topping. Burger King was quick to hop on the Dutch apple pie bandwagon and introduced its own version on its menu, which left fans salivating. In fact, more than one online reviewer even gave this pie 5 out of 5 stars, which is not too shabby. However, another reviewer did criticize the pie for the skimpy layer of crumb topping, but this is a very subjective choice as people prefer different amounts of the topping versus the apple filling and crust.
Yeah, but I really like that crumbly stuff on the top.
No, everybody does.
Most of the time, a pie's downfall is due to a mediocre crust, but Burger King's pie has a crust that stands up to the customer's expectations. But since all good things must come to an end, the chain discontinued the legendary dessert last year. In light of the pandemic, BK's supplier could no longer produce the product, which led to its demise and a nationwide disappointment. The apple pie was thought of as a truly delicious fast food dessert option, and its discontinuation truly marked the end of an era. Like with most restaurant items, you can find recipes online that try to replicate this fast food version of the Dutch apple pie, but nothing will ever come close to the real deal. A&W's Double Chocolate Turnover.
I need chocolate.
If you feel like your life doesn't have enough chocolate in it, just give this double chocolate turnover from A&W a taste and wait to be amazed. This will inevitably make your life more chocolatey. But what is a turnover exactly? It's basically just another name for the tiny little pies that are usually found at fast food restaurants. A&W provides chocolate enthusiasts with an overflowing chocolate dessert that goes perfectly with a glass or two of milk. As many people have pointed out online, the crust in fast food pies often lacks flavor and doesn't offer much to the rest of the pie. But apparently, the crust was not neglected by the folks at A&W. The chocolate crust is filled with even more chocolate, resembling a chocolate pudding, only much richer. The only downside, however, is how sweet it can be. Obviously, it's chocolate on chocolate, so it shouldn't be that much of a surprise, but the chocolatey nature of this treat should be able to compensate for the overwhelming sugar rush. If the sweet nectar gets to be too much, just put it down, chug your milk, and get back to business. Church's Chicken Pot Pie.
Turkey pot pie or chicken pot pie?
When it comes to fast food pie, most of us tend to think of sweet pies like apple or chocolate. But it turns out there's more to the world of pies than just a sweet side. There's a whole other category to consider: savory pies, which are just as delicious. Like Church's Chicken Pot Pie, for instance.
Yeah, boy.
With this one, you might be picturing a traditional round chicken pot pie, but Church's does things a little differently. It offers a handheld version of the classic pot pie in a roughly rectangular shape, just like the dessert versions we are all familiar with. Despite its misleading shape, this savory pie features all the classic chicken pot pie ingredients, including chunks of chicken, peas, corn, and carrots, as well as a creamy chicken gravy to tie it all together. Some reviewers online were impressed with the flaky golden brown crust Church's brought to its handheld chicken pot pie, while others were disappointed with the amount of chicken they contained. Of course, it all depends on your filling preference. You can get a pair of the admittedly smallish chicken pot pies from Church's Chicken for $3. It seems the most popular pies will always be the sweet ones, but if you're craving a savory pie, just head over to your local Church's and try a chicken pot pie right now. McDonald's Baked Apple Pie.
My luscious, gooey apple pie.
Apple pie has long been an iconic dessert, so it's fitting that several fast food versions of this pie made their way onto this list. McDonald's has had an apple pie on its menu ever since the 1960s, and it has gone through a number of changes over the decades. And even though we all love and miss the deep-fried version, the fast food giant's current baked apple pie is still a winner.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
After all, with its distinguishable and inviting smell, it's hard to pass one up. While McDonald's apple pie can hold its own with its flaky crust and warm apple filling, you should follow the chain's recommendation of pairing it with a caramel-topped, soft-serve sundae at least once, just to experience the perfect combination. This baked pie, while not as iconic as its fried predecessor, could still easily beat out a lot of other pies from different fast food restaurants in a taste test. One online reviewer pointed out that the bottom of the McDonald's pie is crispy, which keeps the gooey filling from leaking through while you eat it, an often underestimated quality. The reasons why the apple pie was changed from deep-fried to baked was due to shifting eating habits. But don't worry too much, it's still a very fine fast food dessert option, only healthier. Burger King's Hershey's Sundae Pie.
You eat a sundae. Marge, get Lisa a sundae.
The Hershey's Company is one of the most popular candy makers around, so it would make sense for Burger King, one of the most popular fast food chains, to offer up a delectable dessert collaboration, the Hershey's Sundae Pie. To know if this treat is worth a try or not, just look at the name. Hershey's makes some of the best chocolate, so how could it be anything but delicious? We know that the crust is a crucial part of a pie's success, and Burger King's pie comes through with a chocolate cookie crust that is a step above the average fast food pie crust. Hershey's signature chocolate is used to make the wickedly sweet chocolate cream filling, which chocolate lovers are sure to appreciate. This cream pie is topped with whipped cream and chocolate chips for a fast food pie experience you won't soon forget. Gimme, 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 gimme! All things considered, the nutritional values aren't as bad as one would expect, but needless to say, you should probably stick to one slice and avoid overindulging. Burger King's desserts aren't as well known as the likes from McDonald's, but this slice of chocolate cream pie seems good enough to put BK Desserts on the map. Next time you visit the fast food chain, why not pick up a slice? Rally's and Checkers Cinnamon Apple Pie.
Another one.
Yes, another apple pie, because apple pie is one of the greatest desserts ever. The Rally's and Checkers Cinnamon Apple Pie makes for a worthy contender and should be taken more than seriously in this ranking. As it is mentioned in the name, this version of apple pie accentuates a delicious ingredient often found in other pies: cinnamon.
It's spicy!
If you're a fan of cinnamon, this tasty snack will, without a doubt, satisfy your craving with its generous amount of spice, promising an appealing aroma and taste, something that not many other fast food pies can offer. The Rally's and Checkers pie is a convenient handheld pie, which makes it more than perfect for a quick dessert or snack on the go. According to the people at BusinessInsider.com, before the pandemic, the chain's cinnamon apple pie went head-to-head and beat out McDonald's and Burger King's apple pies for overall taste and quality. Sadly, the treat has since been discontinued, at least for the time being. This is a very subjective choice, of course, but it might be worth it to seek out a Rally's or Checkers pie, even if it's harder to find than some of the bigger chains' pies. Long John Silver's Strawberry Swirl Cheesecake.
Cheesecake is a fun alternative.
Long John Silver's might not be known for its desserts, but maybe it's time to change that. After all, the chain isn't all just about fish. While it does offer a chocolate cream pie, since it's awfully close to Burger King's Hershey Sundae pie, we'll focus on another treat, this one a little fruitier. The Strawberry Swirl Cheesecake features a sweet, crunchy graham cracker crust and a strawberry swirl topping that gives the creamy cheesecake an added kick with some fruit flavor. Even though cheesecake isn't technically a pie in every sense of the word, with a pie crust, a similar shape, and baking technique, we can let it slide into the category. Cheesecake is not an easy dessert to make well, but Long John Silver's seems to have mastered it with this creamy, decadent dessert. The strawberry swirl is a nice touch that helps the cheesecake flavor not be overpowering. You can enjoy this cheesecake on its own or as part of the combo meal called the Fisherman's Feast. Cheesecake certainly isn't known for being low in calories, and Long John Silver's Strawberry Swirl Cheesecake is no exception. But one thing is for sure, it will certainly fill you up. You can find much more expensive cheesecakes at bakeries, but this relatively inexpensive slice of cheesecake is waiting for you at the nearest Long John Silver's restaurant.
Long John Silver, at your humble service.
Taco Bell's Caramel Apple Empanada.
Oh, Mexican food! My favorite!
Another fallen soldier because of the pandemic. Taco Bell's Caramel Apple Empanada might have been one of the chain's most delicious desserts in history. People are still mourning the loss of the one-of-a-kind treat, whose departure has left a half-moon-shaped void in people's hearts. Maybe the only thing that goes as well with apples in a pie as cinnamon is caramel, and Taco Bell sure knew how to make the best out of that discovery. Fondly described online as always piping hot, gooey with caramel, and oozing with enticing aromas of spiced apple, the empanada represented everything a good fast food dessert should be. And let's not forget the flaky golden brown crust with a soft pastry interior. It truly was a perfect balance.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
The fresh, creamy caramel apple empanadas were able to reign on Taco Bell's menu for over 15 years, proving once again just how iconic and beloved these little treats were. The Mexican-inspired chain is notorious for constantly introducing and letting go of many menu items, but people never thought their beloved pies were ever in danger of getting the chop. Apparently, you always had to get two, not only because they were rather small, but because since they were so tasty, one was never enough. If you miss the caramel apple empanadas, there are several copycat recipes available online that promise to help you produce tasty facsimiles of your favorite fast food dessert.
Yeah, hook it up.
Arby's Cherry Turnover.
Cherry pie.
Sweet cherry pie has long been a popular alternative to its venerable cousin, apple pie, and Arby's wanted to give this dessert a go by releasing a cherry turnover. This was done right after McDonald's discontinued its beloved cherry pie. You could say that it was right on time. This fast food pie is of the handheld variety and is a triangular shape, which distinguishes it from most of the other handheld fast food pies. The Arby's turnover is also available in apple, but the cherry is the one to try because, well, the choices for apple pie are endless. You can get one anywhere. The turnover comes covered in generous stripes of sweet, delicious icing, has a flaky crust, and oozes with a jam-like filling made of real cherries. It's both sweet and tart, something necessary to counterbalance the sweetness of the vanilla glaze outer coat. Obviously, the criticisms are usually the same, a never-ending comparison with McDonald's version, with most people taking the Golden Arches side. But if you're able to disassociate the two pies, you'll find that Arby's dessert is just as tasty in its own way. And just like any respectable fast food pie, there are plenty of recipes that can be found online for both McDonald's and Arby's cherry pies. So that way you can make it yourself just the way you like it.
Fine, I'll cook it myself.
We've got more. Just tap or click for another great video. Hit that subscribe button and ring that bell. And hey, leave us a comment.